Want to know about the worst computer viruses ever and how they wreak havoc on your system? Then stay tuned, because in this video, we will cover 11 most dangerous computer viruses in the world. These days, having an excellent antivirus software is a must if you want to protect data and privacy of yourself and those you love. Premium antivirus suites offer protection against all sorts of malware threats like viruses, Trojan horses, ransomware, spyware, and more. During the past few months, we have ranked and rated all the best antivirus software out there. We did this so you can confidently choose the best antivirus to protect your devices and data. Check out the links in the description section of this video if you want to know more about our top antivirus software these days. You can get a special 50% discount if you buy the software using the links we have added down below. So hurry up before the sale ends. Now, let's begin. But first, we ask for a small favor. We have spent a lot of time and effort into creating this video. A computer virus is a software program that can corrupt or destroy the data stored on an infected machine. As if that's not enough, a virus can also duplicate itself and evolve constantly. When you connect to the internet, it opens a gateway to computer viruses. Simply anything and everything you do on the internet may present an opportunity for a computer virus to find you, like visiting malicious websites, opening spam emails, downloading games, songs, or movies. A computer sends out many different signals when infected with a virus, such as erratic behavior, frequent data loss, and system crashes. Make sure you are aware enough to catch those signals when that happens. Since the very first computer virus in 1971, called the creeper system, thousands of viruses have continued to infect the computers. Today, thousands of new virus samples are released in just a single day. Not just individuals, but many reputed companies lost a lot of money in virus damages, which means there is enough possibility for you to be threatened if your system is not properly protected. In this video, we've compiled and explained 11 most dangerous computer viruses notorious for jamming and affecting computers and damaging the sensitive data. We will cover these in the reverse order. At number 11, we have Melissa virus. Named after a foreign dancer in Florida, Melissa virus was the brainchild of a programmer, David Lee Smith, who created the virus in 1999 to spread it through email messages containing infected Word documents as attachments. He made the subject of the emails attractive so that the victims couldn't ignore it easily and open the infected document. The email claimed that the attachment contained dozens of free passwords to free adult content websites. As soon as a user downloaded the content, the Melissa virus would catch the top 50 email contacts from the victim's account, who would then receive a copy of the same malicious email. That's how the virus multiplied and kept going around the internet. Even though Melissa virus did not steal victims' personal information and the cybersecurity experts were soon able to contain the virus, the damage it caused cannot be underestimated. Records say that this virus infected at least 100,000 computers and 300 organizations, causing $1.1 billion worth of damages worldwide. Even the government agencies could not protect their systems from this notorious virus. Millions of infected emails created unnecessary traffic on the internet, and ultimately the running speed of the internet became very slow. This led many victim companies to cease their email programs until they resolved the problem. At number 10, we have Stuxnet virus. Stuxnet was a malicious multi-part worm that was developed in 2005, but first became public in 2010. Stuxnet traveled around mostly through USB sticks and Microsoft Windows computers. This virus is considered one of the most dangerous viruses, mainly because it was aimed at infecting industrial and energy-producing facilities, especially Iran's nuclear plants, by seizing full control of the equipment automation software. Stuxnet received much media attention for its capability to cripple computer hardware. But the virus grabbed outstanding media attention after the world recognized it as a joint creation of the U.S. National Security Agency, the CIA, and Israeli intelligence. Stuxnet had 3 modules called the worm, the link file, and the rootkit. The worm implemented the routine related to the main component of the attack, which executed the malicious activity. The link file performed the task of generating the propagated copies of the worm automatically, whereas the rootkit was responsible for hiding the malicious files in order to avoid detection by antivirus programs. Stuxnet is believed to have damaged almost 1/5 of Iran's nuclear centrifuges, further infecting over 200,000 computers worldwide. But Iran probably received the biggest damage wreaked by the virus, as 60% of the infected systems were in Iran. Next up is MyDoom at number 9. MyDoom is also called w32.mydoom@mm, which was the very first version of the worm. The virus was initially cited on 26 January 2004, but research has shown that it is still active. My Doom is believed to originate from Russia, but the author is still unknown. The entire program was written in the C++ language, and it only affected Microsoft Windows computers. My Doom spreads the same way as Melissa virus and via peer-to-peer networks. Once it downloads onto a system, it creates a backdoor in the operating system for other malicious software to creep in. Normally, the infected email contains some kind of transmission error, having subject lines such as error, mail delivery system, test, or mail transaction failed. It also uses different languages to avoid the chance that the reader purposely ignores opening the message. My Doom is recognized as the fastest spreading email-based worm ever. This nasty virus has already cost the world $38 billion in damages and still continues, which has earned it the reputation of being the most devastating virus to date. A fun fact about My Doom is that the virus even has a song dedicated to it by the famous British IDM musician named Aphex Twin, who has a few song numbers on different viruses and malware. Moving on to number 8, we have the I Love You virus. I Love You was a computer virus or worm with the capability to replicate itself. Lovebug and Love Letter for You are some of the other names given to this malicious virus. It originated in the Philippines and affected over 10 million Windows PCs worldwide. I Love You virus used websites and file sharing methods to spread around, particularly email messages. While emails were the quickest way for the virus to find its victims, these emails looked like a love letter from a secret admirer. The email would usually contain an attachment that carried the actual virus. Once opened, the virus resent the email to every contact in the victim's Microsoft Outlook address book, and then damaged every JPEG and MP3 file, as well as a few other file formats. In addition to replicating itself, the virus also hid copies of its code in the victim's hard disk and added new files to the registry key, making it hard to get rid of and just as much annoying. The virus affected over 500,000 systems in the year 2000 and caused over $15 billion worth of damages, out of which $5.5 billion were produced in the first week alone. The virus is believed to have affected nearly 10% of the world's computers. The interesting thing is that even after 20 years of its creation, the virus is still being used in one form or another because, amazingly, it still works. Number 7 is the NIMDA virus. NIMDA is considered one of the most dangerous and fastest-growing computer viruses. Records say that it took only 22 minutes for NIMDA to come to the top of the recorded attacks from the moment it initially hit the internet. NIMDA, which is admin spelled backward, was initially spotted on 18 September 2001. It was developed in China and written in the C++ language. Email messages, open network shares, compromised websites were some of the ways the virus used to spread. That's how it became one of the fastest spreading computer viruses. The ultimate target of NIMDA was not just to attack the individual users, but the internet servers and bring the internet traffic to a crawl. NIMDA created a backdoor in the user's operating system, giving the attacker permission to control the system functions to the extent the original user was allowed. For example, if you were a user with limited access to the system, then the attacker could only make changes within the same limitations. But unfortunately, if you were the administrator of the system, your entire machine was under the attacker's disposal. Up next, we have fleeceware at number 6. Usually, people feel safe in downloading apps from the official app stores, such as Google Play Store and the App Store. However, it does not mean that it completely avoids the chance of installing a malicious app on your phone. The fleeceware is a bit different from other viruses. It is kind of a malicious app you install into your phone. Fleeceware does not steal or harm your information. It works like a normal advertised app, but with excessive hidden subscription charges. Here's how you can know if an app is a fleeceware. If you have to pay for a common featured app such as a photo editing app or a horoscope app, then that is indeed a fleeceware. These apps will usually start charging you after a brief trial period, even after you have uninstalled the app. Fleeceware developers normally use zombie accounts to boost their reviews and downloads, so the users will easily fall prey to such apps. At number 5, we have fake Windows updates or hidden ransomware. Once again, spam emails are the culprit here. The attackers send malicious emails with an attachment disguised as a JPEG file sent by Microsoft itself, asking users to update their operating system. The ransomware starts installing to your computer as you follow the actions stated in the email. Technical users are aware that Microsoft does not send updates through emails, but non-technical users can easily become a victim to these spam emails. Emails of this kind normally include 2 subject lines and 1 sentence starting with 2 capital letters in the first word. The ransomware contained in the email was named Cyborg, which encrypts the files on the PC and then displays a ransom note called cyborg_decrypt.txt on the desktop, asking for $500 as ransom money. The virus also leaves behind a copy of itself called bot.exe, which hides at the root of the infected drive. Beware of such update notifications in your inbox. You should know that Windows does not send updates to users' inbox. If you indeed get an email from Microsoft, you should immediately contact their customer support department to make sure it's a legitimate email. Number 4 is Game Over Zeus. First discovered in 2011, Game Over Zeus, or GAUZ, is a peer-to-peer extension of the Zeus Trojan, also called Zbot, which is one of the most successful botnet software in the world. The malware uses spam emails and compromised websites to attack victims. Designed to steal valuable information, GAUZ collected personal information such as passwords, credit card information, as well as customer data and sensitive corporate information. White Zbot was sophisticated enough to steal information from reputed organizations such as NASA and Bank of America. GAUZ itself infected thousands of corporations and nearly 1.2 million computers before it was finally taken down. Being an advanced variant of the Zeus family, GAUZ is polymorphic malware with low detection rates, which makes it a highly persistent threat. That's why it's one of the most successful and widespread botnets. Its new version also contains a Netcure's rootkit, making it hard to remove the malware unless you wipe the infected client. But it can easily get infected again as the malware would still exist somewhere in the P2P network. That's why a threat is always there. It can only be controlled through intelligent software like Heimdall that blocks access to infected addresses, websites, or computers and identifies the infection by studying communication attempts between devices. Let's move on to number 3 with the PlugX virus. PlugX is a fully featured remote access Trojan or a rat, early samples of which can be traced back to 2008. Researchers have recently found a new variant of this malware called the Core Plug. The malware opens up backdoors and grants full management of the machine it infects to the attackers. They can fully control the device and execute commands from the remote location. For instance, the attacker can retrieve machine information, capture the screen, reboot the system, upload, download, modify files, manage processes, services, and Windows registry entries, and perform keystroke logging. Like most other viruses, PlugX also spreads through malicious emails that appear to be from legitimate service providers and even carry signed executables or applications. That's why endpoint security products may not flag them. If the emails carry a copy of legit antivirus-related applications, the endpoint security may actually whitelist the product and let the malware slip in the process. But the attachments usually carry 3 different files that make up the PlugX components. PlugX typically targeted government institutions and key industries. Another example of similar malware is Poison Ivy, which was aimed at specific institutes, and it was used to target specific organizations in Japan back in February 2008. Due to its elusive nature, the malware is hard to detect and block. The best way to deal with it is to have awareness and vigilance against such attacks. At number 2, we have the Clop ransomware. Like other ransomware, Clop ransomware also creates backdoors, encrypts all your files, blocks all access to system processes and services, and demands a ransom. But what makes it more dangerous is that the malware is evolving all the time, and its author is constantly employing innovative techniques to make it more complex. First discovered by the Malware Hunter team in February 2019, Clop is a variant of the CryptoMix family. Clop is a Russian word meaning bug. The malware uses many different methods to victimize users, including spammed emails, exploit kits, malvertisement, or compromised websites. As soon as Clop infects a system, it immediately shuts down Windows services and processes to disable the antivirus software. Then it closes all the files to start encrypting them. The malware targets Microsoft Windows-based PCs, especially English-speaking users. However, Clop is aimed at entire networks rather than individuals. The new variant is distributed using executables that are code-signed with a digital signature, which makes it appear legitimate and may help avoid detection by the security software. For our most dangerous virus, we have CryptoLocker at number 1. CryptoLocker, or the crypto virus, was first spotted on 5th September 2013. This virus continued spreading until June 2014 when Evgeny Bogachev, the CryptoLocker gang leader, was finally taken down. Although it's similar to other ransomware, what makes it our top most dangerous virus is that once it infects files, they are effectively as good as lost forever. The malware also affects connected media, such as USBs and shared network drives. CryptoLocker also uses the same methods to get around as other ransomware types. In this case, though, the attached file appears to be a legit Word or PDF file, but actually hides an additional malicious extension. The hackers encrypt files using asymmetric encryption. They encrypt your files using a public key, but then you need a unique private key to unlock the information, which only the hacker can give you. But there's a big question mark on whether or not you're going to get that key even after paying the ransom money. That's why the best way to protect yourself against such attacks is to be aware of what emails to suspect. As a general rule of thumb, don't open any attachments that come to you out of the blue. Always confirm the source before you download any attached files. To sum up, the most important thing you need to care about is the security of your files and the sensitive personal information stored on your computer. As you have seen, many ransomware types even manage to bypass endpoint security, so you must only rely on multi-level protection and make sure to always back up important data. You also understand now that email is one of the most common methods attackers approach you, so be vigilant and never open an attachment from an unknown source or even a known source with unexpected or irregular correspondence. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helped you learn a lot about how attackers victimize you and how you can prevent malware threats.